साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः।
Wonder of Wonders, the English rendering of Paramahamsa Sadguru SriSatupasi's Kannada classic Mahadascharya. Chapter 28. Om Shri Gurudattaya Namaha. Shri Prabhakara Swami. That day was the second Monday of Kartika month according to the Hindu calendar, corresponding to the months of November, December. I was sitting all alone for quite some time. After finishing all my duties at Sri Kanneshwara Ashrama, the compound construction work had been finished. A latrine and washroom remained to be built. There were many rabbits in the ashram and a shelter had to be erected for them. There were no bricks, no cement, but to begin with, there was no masons at all. What is to be done? Since it was rainy season, construction of a shelter was an unavoidable imperative. There were some boys in the ashram. I said to them, "Hey, boys, bring broken bricks lying here and there. As you bring them here, I will go on building the shelter." Saying so, I mixed the mud with water and began building the wall as the boys brought broken bricks. The work was done. I don't know why. I felt a sense of disgust, not knowing what to do. "Let me go to Parati at least," I said to myself and walked towards home briskly. Ties that bind and touch even when you keep quiet. All along the road, the same thought is vibrating. The compound is built, the water tank and the drains are in place, the plants and shrubs are planted. These things don't seem to have an end. I'm fed up, enough. If someone wants to see something is done, let others, anyone do and extend. What is this Guruhood for me? What is this Swamihood? Holiness and be worshipped? I do not want any. Begging my food, I must ramble all over the land. Even that I shouldn't say today or tomorrow or the next. I must do it today alone. Deciding thus, I reached home. I was too tired. In a room adjoining the door, I just sat down thinking, do I go away telling my wife, children, my father and mother, or no, just walk away? I just sat there. Enough of all this. I have never thought of living for my family or wife and children or for my own selfish ends. I haven't. No need to think of them in future too. If I stay here doing even nothing, this and that, they will continue to touch me because the others continue to connect and relate with us, though we disconnect ourselves from them. Even if I lose my passion for my wife, she will not have lost her passion for her husband. The same is with children and with our parents. Even for us, these passions surround us, no matter how strongly we reject them. On the contrary, if I just escape from their sight a little, the marks of passion become traceless. This is truth, and hence this decision alone is right. I was sitting, thinking in this train. Bhagavanta arrives at my doorstep. Just at that very moment, a girl came to announce, "Appaji, some Swami from a different place has come. If you permit, call him in. He says he would come." "Get going, simply go. No need for him to come in, nor do I ask him to come," I said with dejection. The girl went away running. I just sat for a while. Seconds later, Member Chikkanna came and said, "Some Swami has come. He is standing outside." "Which Swami is he? Tell me, I say. Does anything say no? If he walks in, why should he stand there outside boasting? He may expect some unnecessary formalities, is it?" Anyway, which is his place? Why is he standing there outside? I said. Don't know, Swami. I didn't talk to him. If you permit, I will ask him to come in, said Member Chikanna. Well, ask him to come in, please. Let's see what. Chikanna brought him in. He came in and I was simply looking at him. His two knees were touching one another. His feet, the two of them, were turned outward. He wore a half dhoti. The lower half from the waist to the knees, was wrapped around with ochre cloth. A stick his hand held. His haversack was torn and his beard was orky. He looked like a skeleton frame and wore a green shirt. He walked straight into the room where I was sitting and greeted me, saying, Sharanu, revered senior, Sharanu, I bow to you, sir. Is it possible now for me not to react? Saying, Sharanu Swami, Sharanu, I greeted him and said, Please be seated, and kept quiet, anticipating his remarks. The very instant Sri Gundu and his son Prakash came and said with surprise, Oh, this Swami has come. I seem to have seen him somewhere before. He was in Upparati bus stand. When we went to the temple there, he was there. We came here not finding you in the ashram. How fast has he come here? Said Gundurao and took leave saying, I'm coming. Fine, that's all right, I said. Gundurao, addressing the Swami, the visitor, said, Look here, gentlemen, you have come and that's good. Listen attentively to what Malanaru says and get going. No need for you to interrupt him, that's all. We are going, he advised and left. Members who were coming for the bhajans began trooping in one after the other. Chikappa, Murarji, Member Chikanna, Neelamma, Shantama, Ashwatthama and many others along with Amma came and filled that small room. They bowed down to the visitor Swami. For a second silence reigned. He, the visiting Swami, addressed me saying, Speak, Tata, and continued persuasively, Say something. What is there for me to say, mister? Not for me either to say something or hear something, nor is there anything to speak, I said. No, it isn't that. Those who left just now, father and son, Sri Gundurao between the two, while leaving said, You be silent, Tata himself will say something. If there is any, listen to him and then go thereafter. That's why I asked, he said. I know nothing to say anything. If you have something to say, please do, I invited. Is that so? If I say something, do you care to listen? Promise? Is it your word? He asked. Well, it's all right. I give my word. I will listen. If you have anything to say, I said in a matter-of-fact manner. Do I then begin? Well, you may say, but before that, tell us first, from where are you and why you have come? Later on, you may say all those things you have with you to say. Now, from where have you come? Tell us, Swami, I inquired. Laughing suddenly, he said, I came from Chandrasekharapura. Where is it, Swami? You must have heard of Kailasa, haven't you? It's also referred to as Chandrasekharapura, he said. From there, how did you come? Simple, just like that, following the flame, Jyoti, that lit my path, I came. It's all right. To where do you want to go? Nowhere. came straight here. Fine. How did you come to this place? Tell us. You see, brother, I wanted to move around, disguise myself like this and came here. Which dress of disguise? This one, the one you are seeing. This dress. I have no form. Since I wanted to saunter, I have come with this disguise. Well, that's over. Enough. Enough of your saying. I will listen to what you are going to say. Now you should listen to what I want to say, he said. All those who were there were thinking their own thoughts. No one paid any attention to these words. Their thoughts were different. Telling events unfold themselves to be heard. Look, Tata, the ashrama work you're doing and have done is very fine, he said. Which ashrama, Swami? Which ashrama have I built? That one, that has steps from the north as you go. They are very fine. Then the steps that lead up to the Devasthana from the east are also fine. Then the space to the right of the Devasthana falls short a little. That compound walls could have been built a little to the back. Surprised and startled a little, I asked, which ashrama, Swami? When did you go there? Where is it? All that he said was true. Everyone was wonderstruck and thought, this man is a stranger, but how did he come to know all this? Everyone lent their ears to these words. Further, the floras you have planted there, all of them are good, and the tamarind tree for shelter and the protective bench around it is very good. He was talking as though he was there. Further, he was saying, often and often, I have no form and I wore this guise just now since I wanted to wander. To make me realize as to who he is and make me hear the sound and tone of events that took place sometime in the past as though they happened just recently, he asked, as though he was reminding me, did you give that boy Shivana, the one who does Linga Puja, rupees 150 as promised? No, I said. The fear crept on me. A month back, both of us, Sri Gundurao and I, were talking to each other in the former's house. Shivana, who was doing puja, had problems at home. His father was blind and his mother was ailing. We had agreed upon giving him rupees 150 every month. Sri Gundurao too had said, I will give 50, you manage the 100 somehow. I had agreed to the proposal and had said yes. 3 or 4 days had passed after the month and I hadn't paid him. The visitor Swami had inquired about this when he asked, that money, the money promised, did you give? When I asked, how much? 150, don't you know? He was laughing when he said, you are the one who gave the word. Shiva, Shiva, what is this surprise? I felt. At once he said, I have no form since I wanted to wander and I wore this guise just now, he repeated. Again he said, while bathing in the ashram, a rabbit kid died. Didn't it so? He inquired. Yes, Swami, true, I said. This reminded me of a previous incident in which a little rabbit lost its life. A little rabbit is sitting in a corner of the bathroom. The hot water spilled while taking a bath has scalded the rabbit and killed it. This is what the visitor Swami is referring to. Once again, a red little kind of a rabbit of the forest attained its samadhi under your pillow when you were sleeping, he said. Truth it was. One afternoon, I was sleeping in the hall of the temple. 2 forest rabbit kids have gone to sleep. While playing there alone, one has sneaked into my pillow. I woke up from sleep and found one of them. Fearing what has happened to the other one, I asked the entire ashram workers to search for it. Its trace wasn't found. Nowhere was it found. At last I lifted up my pillow. Underneath it, as he had said, it had attained samadhi. Uttering Paramatma, I said aloud, "This one is indeed his Paramatma," and did namaskara. That stroke, fiercer than that from an iron rod. "Just now I wore this dress and came," he said again, repeating himself, and questioned, "How come? You can be so cruel as to beat him in that manner?" "Whom, Swami?" I asked in earnest. "That one, that one who comes every day from the bus stand hotel. How can he withstand if he is beaten with that iron rod?" "It is about Kallayya, son of Jangamara Gangaji of the village Dodderi. He was addicted to liquor and there was domestic quarrel every day. Everyone in the family was disgusted. Come night he would start his abusive tirade, shouting and uttering unspeakable words and expressions. One day I had gone to Gangaji's house. Gangaji asked me to advise her son. "Look, son, do something to put some sense into this fellow. I am at my tether's end. I beg and bow down to you. At least take him to your ashram for the night and save me from this nightmare," she requested me. "Not a big thing, it's done," I assured her, and calling Kallayya, "Come to the temple every day, brother," I said. "Done, Swami. Your word I don't contradict." "I'll be coming today alone," Kallayya said. Coming to the ashram every day in the evening, he said, rendering whatever service he thought he could. Some days he was coming after 9 in the night. It seems he came drunken when he did. He paid no heed to any in the ashram who advised him. When Mallayya, the innocent Mugdha Mallayya, wasn't in the ashram, he would quarrel with everyone. All of them were complaining, "Swami, Kallayya comes drunk. He cares to hear none, no matter how we advise." Kallayya's son Prasanna Kumara was also in the ashram. He was asking, "Appaji, my father comes here drunk. Ask him not to step in here." "Until I myself see him come drunken, I listen to none. You're all lying to me. Please contain yourself. Kallayya is not such a one." I said to silence them, though I knew what was going on. One evening from Upparahatti, I was walking down to ashrama. Member Chikkana was with me. By then darkness had spread everywhere. Even then, in the dim light of that darkness, I saw Kallayya walking far ahead of us. Swaying and wobbling, he was on the road to the ashram, and we too treaded following him. He was not aware of our going behind him. Entering the ashrama, he tried to go straight to Garbhagudi, the sanctum sanctorum. At that time, those who were there already for the bhajan stopped him as he was drunk. He began quarreling with them. He proceeded to pour water on the Shivlinga with the 2 parts of water he had brought. He hadn't cared to see Mallayya, who was very much behind him. This way he entered into a quarrel with those who stopped as well as those who prevented him pouring water. In this turmoil, the bhajan was stopped. Then I said, "What is this, Pal? Do you come drunk even to this place? You shouldn't do like this." "No, Swami." He had shaken and frightened on seeing me. He was adamant and claimed, "I am not drunk." "In that case, don't step in here. Get away." "Out, please," I said. "Why should I go? I am not drunk," I insist. He protested. "Does that mean you aren't going?" I asked. No, he reiterated. I kicked the 2 plastic pots kept on the floor towards Kallaya, which he had held earlier on his shoulders. The kick caused holes in the pot and it hung around Malaya's legs. The broken pieces were strewn all over. At least now confess that you came drunk and I will excuse you and let you go, I said. No, I haven't taken a drink. If you want, you may smell me, he said and came close to me, stuttering. Then a person who was in the bhajan group intervened and said, if so, placing the Guru Padas on your head, avow and promise that you hadn't taken a drink. Guru Padas are icons of the Guru's feet. I'll go to the open space beyond to toilet and then come and promise, said Kallaya. Someone brought a water-filled pot and placed it before Kallaya to go out to that open space to toilet. That's a practice in villages. Kallaya stood without touching the pot. I hit his shoulder and ordered, get lost, and shouted, get away. Carrying his covering, he left for his home, crying and weeping. Reaching home, he has narrated to his sister, mother and cousin many things like, the Swami himself beat me and necked me out. Listening to what is related to them, the poor souls at home reacted in their own way. They have beaten and driven him out at this hour? What great misdeed has he committed to deserve the expulsion at night? Why beat another human being? Are they all such great saints? They said whatever came to their mind. They too knew that this one, their man, was not at all that good. Falling a prey to selfish passions, they have resorted to abuses. The next morning, there was an atmosphere of silence in the temple. Everyone was shaken. Their hands and legs were trembling on account of the event of the previous night and roaring Avatara of Mugdha Mallaya. It must have dawned on them. Similar our fate will be if we fail to wake up. I came out the ashram next morning. Kallaya's memory returned. What did I do? I beat him and asked him to leave and sent him away. How unkind am I? How hurt and desolate he must be. With thoughts such as these, I was filled with remorse. I wanted to go soon and talk to him, but it was not possible. 2 days later, I went towards his house. What wonder, the house that was always full is noiseless now. None within or outside. Kallaya's wife Annapurnama was sitting inside. Where is everyone? Where have they gone, mother? I asked. Gone to the hospital, she said. Why did they go? I inquired. Ajji, grandma and amma are down with vomiting and loose motions, and Appa too isn't well. The lady said. Ayo, then where is Kallaya? I asked. He is unwell. He is laying in that corner of the house, she said. I went in immediately. It was dark inside and I saw him lying in a corner, fatigued, caressing him with affection. Get up, Kallaya, I said and helped him sit. He was too feeble even to sit, and his mouth had dried up and the eyes were sunken. Swami, I am vomiting and having loose motions since day before yesterday night. Be that as it may, Swami, disregarding your repeated advice, I didn't repent for the wrongs done and failed to speak the truth. I remained adamant. I discarded you, he said, crying. He looked as though he was stuck to the earth where he was lying. Wiping his tears, I said, "No, you shouldn't cry like that. Get up and go to the hospital." I gave him some money. All those who were in the hospital hadn't come back. They had been admitted 2 days back. Their domestic situation was hopeless to see. I went to the hospital and patted and caressed them and said, "Don't worry, there is Shiva to take care of you. Come back home soon," I wished. Gangaji, the mother, had to take care of all the folks in the family, all by herself. Little did they know that the Ajji knew everything, and all this had happened because none listened to her words. At that time, Sundaramma was talking in her sleep. "Swami, don't go away." Not listening to my assurance. "No, I wouldn't go anywhere," she asked repeatedly. "Swami, give me at least a photo of yours. I'll keep it under my pillow and sleep." When I sent my photo, she slept satisfied and everything came to order. It was this entire episode which the Swami reminded me by his remark, "How come you beat in such a manner?" "No, Swami, I gave a blow with my hand, that's all," I said. "Consequences of that blow was worse than a hit by the iron rod. That's why I went to their house, took prasada and returned after blessing them. Otherwise, what would have been their fate?" he said. "I accept what you say, Swami. Hereafter I will not lose my temper on anyone and will not hit anyone." "Give me your word to that effect. No matter what the circumstances are, you should not lose your temper on anyone. You shouldn't feel hurt in the least. They do not have the strength to withstand the consequences of your anger and hurt. If you feel hurt or speak in such situations, no one has the capacity to mend it or repair it." "Yes, Swami, understood. Hereafter, never will I do or act as thus understood." "Am I to be certain that hereafter you shall never do or act as this?" he demanded. "Yes, Swami, it was a mistake. Please excuse me," I said, and followed it with a namaskara to him. "I am unable to contain myself if I hurt someone. Never will I do so hereafter, Swami," I promised. Ordained nature. "Look, brother, since I wanted to roam around, I came with this guise on," he began. "Look, Tata, in such situations, if you do like this, how come Tata?" Mugdha Mallaya was addressed as Tata by the Swami. "Which situation?" I asked. That day, the weather was very bad, marked by rain and clouds, but a whole congregation of people are waiting for their meal. If you just look at the clouds, what's the point? You must say, 'Let there be no rain today,'" he said. "Who should be told, Swami?" I asked. "The clouds, the 5 elements, Panchabhutas," he specified. A few days back, Srimati Shashikalamma, a Sadbhakte, along with her 2 sisters, Srimati Pushpa and Srimati Sujata, had organized in the Kanneshwara temple a holy meal to all the devotees. The 2 sisters of Shashikalamma, Srimati Sujata and Pushpa, belonged to the line of Sharanas and Sharanes, and they had believed that the Guru is all, their Sarvasva. Everything was in its place and it was time for prasada. Food served to the devotees and others after it is first offered to the Lord is prasada. It was all set for serving food in the open beneath the sky. The sky was overcast with heavy and dark clouds. It was around 3 in the noon. There was no canopied large space for this purpose. Everything in the ashram is open, the cooking, the serving and the dining of the sizable congregation of assembled devotees. Everyone is skeptical about the weather and the rain. But not so the three sisters, the elder and the younger. They have no fear of the onset of rain. They moved about joyfully, unmindful of the weather conditions. Our Guru is there to take care of us. Why should we unnecessarily worry? Looking at the dark clouds, any moment it may burst into a heavy rain. All the food will be swept away in rainwater. What am I to do? If it doesn't rain, the groundnut crop grown by the farmers will be lost. Only for the sake of the prasada, it isn't fair or proper to pray for the rain to stop. With these kind of thoughts, I went and sat behind the temple, looking at milk and honey like clouds. Rain drops from the sky above, each one as big a marble, began to fall on me. Each raindrop made a palm length of earth wet. Shiva, do what you want. What can I do? Everything is yours, I said to myself. The overcast sky at once turned into an open, clean and clear sky. Recalling this event and the situation, he said, if you look up just like that, what purpose is served? You must say, today there should be no rain. Otherwise, all the efforts made in faith and devotion by those three sisters to feed all bhakta bhaktes will be swept away by the rainwaters. Will you not be grieved by this? He said. Excuse me, Swami. I was confused. The drought scared farmers were crying. There's no rain. In that situation, nothing flashed to my mind and I stood silent, I said. It isn't like that. In such situations, when rain or any other thing becomes a deterrent to your satkarya, then you should order nature that such a thing shouldn't occur. Understand? You have given your word. I'll follow your instructions, your word. I have just now come from Chandrasekharapura disguised in this dress to roam around, he said. Yes, Swami, when the crops are dried up for want of rain and if it begins to rain for once as a surprise, how is it possible for me to say, rains don't come? I questioned him. In that case, will you be pleased and happy if it rains when all the devotees are being fed with avowed devotion and faith? He thus countered my question. It's for this reason I kept quiet when nothing flashed across my mind, I said. You aren't there to remain quiet and indecisive. A right decision should be taken. Do you understand? He ordered. Yes, Swami. You are all knowing in the faith that Shiva presides over all our actions. If we do our work, it is over. The rest he takes care. Annihilate or rehabilitate. All this is thy domain, I said. Look, I say it again. You have given your word. Will listen to all that you have said. Thus he silenced me. Where have they gone, Father? Right here they are. Continuing, he said, hereafter you should declare, I alone am the Guru, he ordered. Whom should I declare as I am the Guru, Swami? I asked. I am telling you alone, he clarified. How is it possible? How can I claim for myself? I am the Guru, I said. Then do you find it comfortable to declare I am no Guru? He questioned me. Impossible to say anything. Better to keep quiet. Why enter into all that? I said. If so, when the Purlahalli Ninganna inquired, where is the Guru? You should have kept quiet. On the contrary, why did you say that? He has gone there or some here. Do you recall how sad he felt? You don't have to be afraid of anyone. You should have said, I am the Guru. Do you understand? Remember, you have given your word. We listen to whatever is instructed. Understand? Yes, Swami, I said. That day, it was around 8 in the morning, someone came washed his hands and legs from the borewell water and came to me and asked, Brother, where did the Guru go? I was building the rabbit nest. I asked back, which Guru? Where did Mallappa Swamigalu go? He asked me direct, as there was none else. There is no Swami here, I said. Not so. I asked, where did the Guru go? He asked again. Went to Chellakere, I said. When does he come? He asked. Don't know, I said, and I continued. I have mine and you yours. Who knows when he returns? Does he go? Taking my leave? If you care, go in search of him. I said, completely lost in the work and I was doing. Mud stuck hands and legs and my clothing was painted with red mud. He started talking to himself and crying after climbing up and sitting on a platform. Who knows what? I don't know what sins I have committed, what karmas I have done, Shiva Shiva. Guru's darshan I didn't get, though I have come 3 times. How much more karma there is, I don't know. How deprived am I? In the meantime, the stock of bricks is cleared and the wall is raised enough. The working boys have come to the temple after washing their hands and legs on completion of their assigned work. The boys have glanced at this visitor. Approaching the boys, the visitor has asked, Boys, do you live here? Yes. Why? What do you want? One of the boys has asked. Gurugalu Mallappa Samnoru. When does he come? The visitor has asked. In astonishment, the boy has said, Where has he gone? Father, he is right there. The boys, pointing out their fingers at me, said, He alone is he. What you want to ask? Go and ask him. The surprised visitor came to me and said, Swami, what did you do to me? When I asked, how could you say, I don't know? He has gone to Chellakere. Do you care to know how grief-stricken I felt? And cried. I consoled him and served him a meal. I sent him wishing, may the good happen. The reference was to this episode. Hold a cane in your hand and wear the ochre robe. The visiting Swami continued his telling. Henceforth, ochre clothes you should wear and hold a cane in your hand. Why, Swami? Why ochre dress? What is there in it? Does bhakti and gnana require appropriate specific clothing? I asked. Look, don't talk back. You have given your word, conduct yourself as you are told. He reminded once again. Is it improper to seek explanations? I don't in any way reject what you have said, I reasoned. Is it so? Then here it is. Look, one who has nothing is I. Nothing do I need also. Even then, dressing myself up as man and wearing the ochre clothes, I have come. Even then I had to stand outside for such a long time. If I had come as an ordinary common man, would it have been possible to sit here for a while? It's for that reason, not for you in any case, for the sake of inculcating devotion for the good of mankind, you need to wear ochre clothes. He elaborated. No, Swami, for the sake of someone, what's the meaning of my dressing in ochre? I repeated my question. Yes, Tata. If you don't wear ochre, they'll be put into trouble. If you be as you are, they will behave and conduct themselves devoid of any devotion. Then it hurts them. When I am myself telling, why this doubt? Without purifying the thoughts, without destroying desires, without drying up of craving, without the mind resting on the Mahadeva, and without any sadhana, no purpose is served if the ochre cloth is worn. From such people, no benefit accrues to the world, no benefit even to their own selves. Live they can, that is all. Only he who had had my darshana is qualified to wear the ochre clothes. Now, would it be wrong if we wear the ochre clothes first and then endeavor to seek your darshana? I asked. No, it doesn't merit consideration. How does it fit? If a month-old baby girl decked with all the ornaments and the basinga, bridal attire, is draped in a sari and a big kumkum dot is put on the forehead center, it doesn't, isn't it so? Similarly, only when one has come of age, it would be charming and attractive if she drapes a sari around herself. If not, it would be detestable. Just now I have come with this disguise, he said. Yes, Swami, but why should I hold a cane in my hand? I raised the question again. That's my command, to break the teeth of those gloating in their arrogance. It is needed. That's why you must hold it, he reasoned. Oh, if arrogance, egotism governs him, it will be with him and they will eat its fruits. Why should I invite abuses on myself by telling them to be sensible? I said. Hold the stick in your hand, just hold it, that's all. The rest I will do. I am not supposed to be seen. Even then I have worn this guise, don't you know? He clarified. And continued his telling. There is another thing which I need to tell you. You should bless those who come to you in the manner. And he pulled out his right hand, which he had disguised as though he didn't have one so far. Blessing with that blessed hand, said, blessing in this fashion, you must say, may the good prevail and happen. Thinking within myself, why is he forcing me who doesn't like any of these? I said, Swami, please don't feel dejected thinking that I am talking back to you. What blessing is conferred if I lift my hand this way and speak in that manner? If I say within, Shiva Shiva, may the good happen to these ones, what happens? Doesn't good happen to them? I said. No, Tata, what do you lose if you place your hand on his head and say, may the good happen? Watch out. You have promised to abide my words and now you open out this way. It is I who has sent all those that come to you and therefore you should bless them the way I direct. Doer of all, everything is I alone. Do as I direct and that's enough, he said. Look, Swami, you are yourself telling, I am the one who does everything. The dispatcher is I, but move your hand the way I dictate. No, Swami, I don't feel comfortable. Please bless me to be meditating on you, worshipping you and contemplating you. I do not want anything else. I will do a Sashtanga Namaskara as token of my earnest, and I did my Namaskara. It is the whole body bowing down in surrender. Look, I know what to give and to whom, therefore do what I say and that will ensure good to all. Yes, Swami, please tell me what to bless, I said in total subdued reverence. Those that come to you and bend their heads saying, Sharanu, bless them, may good happen, he said. When may the good happen is said, my mind revolves and determines, what is that good and which is that good? Doesn't it so, Swami? Why did you tag me onto the passionate ties of this world? Why do you chain me to one who had left forsaking all these? I beg of you, I do not want any of these. Please, just leave me and let me free. I said and did a namaskara. For that reason alone, I had to come today roaming from Chandrasekharapura to you disguised in this fashion. That alone is good to them who come seeking it as good. Good to one is money inflow if he is after money. Cure of stomachache alone is good to another. Getting a daughter is good to the third, and good it is to the fourth if the impending calamity passes off without any evil. To yet another, wakening to devotion to God is good. They surely get me alone if casting aside all desires long for Shiva only. Whosoever one may be, each one will get that as good if he seeks it as good. Do you understand? He said. Yes, Swami, I said while my mind raised an amendment. Doesn't good befall if we say, may good happen? With the fullness of our heart, will he not get happiness? No, they must with their mind and heart understand, I secured my good, I am satisfied, I am found peace because of the blessings of that person to whom we had gone seeking that good. This is my word and you shall follow and abide by it. I have no body at all. Because I wanted to move about, I own this dress and came, he said. The 18th Kshetra, the holy ground. His eyes rolled towards the broken, the sagged and the bent logs and lofts of the house. Eyeing at all of them, he said, get this removed and build a structure in cement, he said. Don't bother about it, mister. Tell me, sir, where do you want to go from here? What is your real name? Please let us know, I requested. I meant to go to another 17 holy places. Up until now, there were in this terrestrial 17 holy places. Now, since this Shri Kshetra, that is Sri Guru Kanneshwara Swami, this holy place having joined with that 17, has become the 18th Kshetra, he declared. Is that so? Which are those 17? Who administers them, Swami? I asked.
Where there is no egotism, where there is no selfishness, where there are no desires, where everything runs according to Shiva's will, where there is no noisy celebration driven by conceited ego, where there are no differences, where there are no animosities, they are the 18 holy places.
I myself will oversee them and I run them and there I reside. Now this has become the 18th Kshetra. Therefore be happy. The rest of the things take place of their own accord. Remaining unseen, I will administer them and govern them. Even then you are the Lord of this Kshetra. Knowing this hidden implication, you be joyful. Casting off your love for your body, free from impurities and conceit, unattached, balanced as a witness, doing everything, getting everything done, and conferring blessing on those who come searching for you makes you glow and shine. He closed his eyes after this. Opening his eyes, sometimes later he turned towards me and said, Look, a few days later, some Swamis come to this Sri Kshetra and don't allow them to come close to you, he cautioned. Then what should I do? Shall I order them to keep some distance from me? Even then, they must be 2 feet away from you, understand? How come, Swami? How can I tell them to be 2 feet away from me and not come too close? I said. It isn't that difficult, Tata. If you will resolve within that they should be 2 feet away from you, they will themselves keep that distance from you without your asking. And you shouldn't ask them what. Did you understand? You sit, just keep quiet without hurrying. Don't be in any haste. I was nursing a desire that I should serve him a meal, offer some clothing and some karnike monetary offering. divining instantly. Don't be in a hurry. I know for certain that you will offer me something and I willingly receive it. What you give is no small thing. You will feed me a hearty meal, 20 rupees in cash, and an old shirt and a dhoti. Be at rest and remain satisfied. He himself said all this. It is settled now, Swami. Please get up and get ready for a bath, I pleaded. Bath? Every day it is bath alone for me. Rain dropping from the clouds falls on me alone. Bathing in the rainwater, falling from the skies, the entire body has turned green. See, I came here bathing in the rainwater, he said. Well, Swami, you haven't said your name and I too forgot to ask. What's your name, Swami? I inquired with sincere eagerness. Ah, that one, I am addressed as, in Sri Shaila, it is Mallikarjuna. You know that, don't you? Next, you have also heard of Kashi Vishwanatha, haven't you? It is Siddhalinga in Ediyur. You know it. And Budagavi Siddha, you know. All the names of all those you must have known, he said and kept quiet. I didn't ask all those names, Swami. You have said that you have come attired now with what you are talking. You who is sitting before me and talking that name, it is I asked. Please, I beg you, tell us, Swami, I begged. He kept quiet for some time. Yes, he said, and slowly trying to open his mouth and untying his lips. Yes, am I to say it now? Why? Why don't you yourself give me a name and call me? He offered a choice. No, Swami, you should tell. No other go, you should, I demanded. In that case, may I myself reveal it? And with a great deal of effort, he said, then call me Prabhakara Swami, he said. Oh, it's beautiful, Swami, very meaningful. Prabhakara Swami, I said and did namaskara. What more? I will go. I have to visit another 17 holy places. I am already dressed up. May I start moving? He said indecisively. Well, it's fine. It's time for prasada, the holy meal. Please have your meal and go, I requested. That day, while going home, I had with me 3 ladies' fingers which I had plucked it from the plant grown in the ashrama. I gave it to the lady of the house, that's Ellama, my wife, asking her to make a gojju of it and cook some mudde. I asked her, is the meal cooked? Yes, she replied. I requested him, please let us sit for our meal. As though he remembered he had forgotten, he said, one more word. Yes, Swami, what is it? I asked. Within 2 days, there will be a heavy rain. A downpour it will be. You will have to tell everyone it's going to rain. Don't forget, he said. If it rains, let it. But why should I do forecasting? I showed my reluctance. Brother, you say that you will heed my words. When I say something, you wrangle about it. At least for some, you must inform. And they should know it. Because it was a time marking the end of the rainy season, yet he was saying in this manner, no, Swami, when it rains, how would it be? Invisible for people to see. What rain is it? If it remains invisible, when it does, it comes with thunder, lightning and flowing water. It will be known to everyone. Why should I say or tell? Look, when it rains, it isn't known in advance. Therefore, before it rains, at least 2 or 3 days before, you must tell about it and understand. This is what I have said. You better understand and don't indulge in retort, he said. Yes, Swami, please proceed for taking prasada. I brought him to the kitchen. Kitchen was in pathetic situation. He took a glance at the place this way and that. He sat on the spread out stone mat and sprinkled water over Srimati Ellama's first, then Suvarnama and Kannesha and poured the leftover water in the tumbler on this Mallaya, saying, Shivaya Namaha. We reverentially placed the plate containing the cooked lady's finger and ragi bal mudde and did namaskara. Tata, come on, sit with me and let us eat together, and asked me to sit by his side. Serving both of us, Ellamma stood struck with fear and reverence generates. Her two children stood like their mother. Both of us ate a mudde each along with side dish of cooked lady's finger. Serve rice, I ordered and looked at my wife with authority. She was standing unmoved, holding a plate full of rice, though the plate was empty as we had eaten the ragi mudde and the cooked lady's finger. Ellamma would proceed to serve and withdrew forthwith. Noticing her unsteadiness, the Swami also persuaded her with the words, Serve, mother, serve. Even then she stood bewildered without serving. I couldn't rein my dissatisfaction. Hey, what has happened to you? Are you demon struck? Look, kill I will, I said and stood up in anger and rage. She emptied the rice in a plate to the Swami's plate and served some goju. Then the Mahanubhava said, Shanti, peace, Shanti, Tata. What about this mother if you get enraged like this? Collect yourself and invite peace. Sit down, please serve him also, he said to Ellamma. My wife served me. Why didn't you do so before? What had happened to you? I asked in my anger. Sobbing, my wife said, It is stale, yesterday's rice. I didn't know whether or not to serve or no. That's why I did so. She said, sobbing. You wretch! Served stale rice of yesterday? I said. No, Tata, it is not. Eat and see. It is rice, steaming hot, and that's why I am cooling it and eating, he said. Although it was stale rice of previous night, it was steaming hot. We ate with satisfaction. Both of us chewed nuts and leaves heartily. I didn't have the heart to send him off. He was saying often, May I take leave of you and go? I searched every bit and found a shirt, a lungi and 20 rupees and some nuts and leaves. My wife and I bowed down to him reverentially, offering them to him. I am through. I'll get going, he said and left. All of us came out and bid him farewell. Mind loaded with so many thoughts and found poise and peace. All thoughts had lost their footing, and yet his words remained as a residue. Within 2 days it rains, and don't forget to broadcast it. That word had held me. I didn't tell that word to anyone. Why invite attention? Let things happen as ordained. If it rains, yes it does. Why should I broadcast it, the forecast, and become a big brother? Held by such thoughts, I kept quiet. 2 days passed, and the next day evening I went to Srimati Shantamma house and brought a plastic tarpaulin. There were many rabbits in the temple then. They were likely to be drenched in rain, and as Prabhakar Swami has said, it may rain today. I didn't tell anyone about this even by the slip of the tongue. It was 7 in the evening. After my supper, I went along with Rudra, a boy who stays with us in our house, towards the Kanneshwara temple. We had covered a furlong or two close to Ganapanhatti tamarind tree. Some 2 of them came from the opposite direction in that darkness. One of the 2 greeted me, Namaskara Swami. From voice alone, I could make out that he was a stranger, yet greeted back and said, Namaskara. Nothing very important, but please tell me when it's going to rain, he asked. Why ask me? What do I know? He replied. Not that way. Please tell me whether it rains today or not, he asked in earnest. You return to the same thing. Don't you understand what is said? I said, a little curt and harsh. Yes, what you say is right, Swami. When it rains, everyone knows. Only when you tell in advance how heavy or light is the rain, do people know and understand, he elaborated. I say, don't torment me. If you ask once again when it rains, you will leave only after getting beaten by what I have in my hand. Ask me again if you dare. When I say I don't know, you must understand. I lifted the stick in my hand and said, ask again. No, Swami, no need for you to beat or for me to ask. Saying this, he walked away. We walked fast in the darkness. We came upon the embankment of a tank. Addressing Rudra, I said, go ahead and sit. I will follow you. I sat in meditation on one side of the embankment. I opened my eyes slowly after a considerable time. Thinking poor Rudra must be waiting for me, I walked ahead. No trace of him. Tired of waiting, he may have gone to temple, I thought. I began calling out loudly, Rudra! 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 Sri Prabhakara Swami was responding to each call with the language of thunder and thunderbolt. As soon as I said Rudra, the cloud thundered. As soon as I said Prabhakara Swami, there was the roar of the thunderbolt. Calling out like this, I reached the temple. As I stepped into the compound of the temple, terrific rain began pouring. Only water everywhere. It was raining no matter how water overflowed the tanks, canals and all sorts of water bodies like the small and big wells. It rained in torrents as he has said. Really, it was such a big rain. Mother Earth must have pleaded with the rain god Varunadeva. Word of Sri Prabhakara Swamigalu must have told its truth in 2 days alone. This alone was a witness to establish that the entire nature was under his control. Even then, although he had said so much about it, I never told anyone it would rain, and it rains this copiously. Someone has told me. Only after the telling of Sri Prabhakara Swami did I begin to apply the sandal paste and the vibhuti and later the ochre clothes. Thinking, no ochre wear, nothing, there is no need. I was wearing the usual wears. After the lapse many days, the devotees began to give the dress I am wearing now. Since then I am wearing those alone. I haven't asked anyone. They themselves began bringing them. I too commenced wearing them. A shirt, a towel, these alone became my dresses. Even earlier, if my father brought a lungi, I was wearing it within my house. If I went out, I would wrap the towel around myself and place the lungi on my shoulders. This is his story. The Mahanubhava, Sri Prabhakara Swamigalu, wasn't seen again. Even then, through several forms, he is continuing to grant his darshan several times. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.